Welcome back to the Mental Health Minute. I'm Dr. Emily Mayfield, a licensed psychologist. Thank you for watching this video and being a part of the Mindset Therapy family. During today's video, I wanted to discuss a new term called hindsight bias and how it specifically relates to narcissists. Hindsight bias is a term used in psychology and is a type of cognitive bias. With a hindsight bias, you think something is more predictable after it has happened than prior to it happening. When people encounter the result of a situation, they assess what they could have done differently for a different outcome. Once you have all the information after the fact, you think you could have or should have made a different decision. This is a bias because you are unfairly evaluating a situation after it has happened. Sometimes this comparison isn't a fair comparison because of the hindsight bias. However, the person has at least considered the new information. For narcissists, they lack the ability to look back at what they could have done differently because they don't think that they were wrong to begin with. This impacts their willingness and ability to assess situations and then make changes. Today, I will discuss how hindsight bias relates to the narcissist. But first, before we discuss that further, thank you for watching this video and being a part of the Mindset Therapy family. You can follow us on social media for more content related to all things mental health. If you know someone who might enjoy this video, please share it so we can continue to have the Mindset Therapy family grow. Let's discuss the hindsight bias in a little more detail before we just start discussing the narcissist. With the hindsight bias, once a situation has occurred, people will often say to themselves, "I knew that was going to happen," or "Why didn't I respond differently?" Both of these statements are made after the fact and when more information is made available. During the period before the situation occurred, people don't have the information that they would have gathered after the situation has occurred. However, the person responds in a way to suggest they did, in some way, have the post-situation information and should have used it prior to the situation happening. The hindsight bias leads to people questioning decisions they have made and often blame themselves for the situation because they think they could have done something differently or controlled it in some way. However, the hindsight bias isn't all bad. When someone considers the current outcome and what they could have done differently given the information they initially had, it means that they are looking at the situation and assessing what role, if any, they played in the outcome. This trait allows for some responsibility taking and also the desire to change. This is where narcissists are different from non-narcissists when it comes to the hindsight bias. Narcissists fail to learn from mistakes because they don't think that they have made a mistake. A narcissist believes they can do no wrong. So, regardless of what the outcome of a situation is, the narcissist will never assess the outcome and consider what role they played in that outcome, especially when the result is negative. When a narcissist can't accept they have possibly made a mistake, then they will not learn from mistakes made. I have discussed before how narcissists lack the ability to take responsibility due to the possibility of activating shame. This lack of responsibility taking is related to the hindsight bias because the narcissist never believes that they make mistakes. They are all-knowing and can do no wrong. In order to learn from mistakes, you must be able to acknowledge you made a mistake or at least the possibility that you could make mistakes. The narcissist believes they are free of fault, and this means that they couldn't be responsible for negative outcomes or mistakes. So, the narcissist doesn't analyze information after a situation has happened because they don't think that there was an event that requires their attention and review. This means that they don't learn from negative outcomes because they never look at what role they played. They can encounter the same situation and the same outcome over and over again and each time act like it is an independent act that has never happened before. This is a sort of protection mechanism for them as a way to prevent activation of shame, which can lead to narcissistic injury. The narcissist will never change because they don't think they are responsible for consequences of their actions. It is everyone else's fault and not for them to analyze what they could have done differently, and it is not their responsibility. Well, at least that's what the narcissist will tell you. Comment below if you think narcissists can learn from their mistakes. Also, if you enjoyed the content of this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button to be a part of the Mindset Therapy family. To learn more about services you can receive through Mindset Therapy, check out this link or the link in the description. I look forward to seeing you at the next video.